Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, as always, I'd like to start off giving all honor and glory, infinite praise and worship to our power, YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, HAQADASH. Double honors to our apostles, our elders, the great millstone, rule well, teach on sound doctrine. And strong shalom to the hopeful elect, that the Lord will have mercy on these last days. It's your brother Kadash, representing GMS branch here in Cleveland, Lord willing, to bring out a quick and edifying lesson through the spirit and power of Yahawah Basham. Alright, the title is Remember, Satan Works for the Most High. You know, because contrary to popular belief, you know, this is a factual statement in which the world can't seem to grasp, because if they divide the two, all right, that makes it, you know, that by dividing the power, it makes more power, right? It makes that means that there's not just one power. You know, if you give power to Satan, as if Satan is his own power, you know, like he's doing everything on his own free will. Therefore, then now it makes sense to have multiple powers if Satan will be divided. But that's not the case, because the Lord is control of everything, right? Real quick, let me get this since I said that, because it's the Lord in whom we are controlled by, man. You know, this is Wisdom of Solomon 12:1. For thy incorruptible spirit is in all things. The Lord is in everything. Okay. The Lord's spirit. That's why, because the Lord is a spirit. This, matter of fact, hold on. This is Hebrews 12:9. It says, furthermore, we have had fathers of our flesh, which corrected us, and we gave them reverence. Shall we not much rather be in subjection unto the Father of spirits and live? So Satan is a spirit. The devil is a spirit. Even his physical counterpart, Esau Edom, who plays out his actions on the earth, they're spirits. All right, they're spirits, and we're dealing with the king and the father of these spirits, who created them all. You see, this is Deuteronomy 32 real quick. Because that's one of these Christianityers. That's one of their biggest arguments, is that Satan did it, the devil did it. You know, they give credit to the devil versus the credit to the Lord, because the Lord said he's known by the judgments in which he executed. These things on the earth, the judgments that's happened, man, even hurricanes and different storms and different things, those are spirits on those. They're those angels that have activated those things, man. They act out the actions that's declared in the heavens. You see, by the angels that control all of them, and the angel get the charge from the Most High, man. All right, even Yahawah, and he gets the charge from the Father, man. You see, that's why the YAHAWASHI don't even know when he's going to come back to save his elect, his bride. Only the Father, because why? The Father is the only power. All right, he's the power source, and we are all plugged into him. Okay, in one form, shape, or fashion. This is Deuteronomy 32:39. See now that I, even I. Right, Salaki, because the scriptures say, don't fear him that could kill the body, fear him that could kill the body and soul in hell, right? So he has control over the spirits, and he can turn the spirit how he please, man. It says, see now that I, even I, am he, and there is no power with me. I kill, and I make alive. I wound, and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hands. See, this is Yahweh speaking, the Father of spirits. Okay? He's the one, all right, that's given the charge. He has no beginning. He has no end. He always was. His name, Yahawah, literally means he, Yahweh be or exists. He be. He exists. All right? That's why he told Moses, he is what he is that he am. I am that I am. Talking about, himself. Because he always was. And we don't present him like that. We present him as he is. He be. He exists. Let's grab this real quick. Let's grab, because if you haven't heard that there is a council that takes place in the heavens. Okay, there's a council that takes place in the heavens. All right, and the Father, he gives the charge. All right, at this council. All right, for the angels to go out and act out his decree. Okay, this is a prime example. This is a quick one. All right, this is 1 Kings 22. Let's start at verse. Let's start at 18. And the king of Israel said unto Jehoshaphat, did I not tell thee that he will prophesy no good concerning me, but evil? And he said, hear thou therefore the words of the Lord. I saw the Most High sitting on his throne, and all the hosts of heaven standing by him on his right hand and on his left. Got the righteous angels, you got the angels that go out and do the things on the left hand side. And Satan is one of them. All right, he's the liaison, if you will. All right, or he's the one over that department. All right, he's the manager of that department. Which he's going to steal. Satan can't get destroyed because he's a spirit, you know what I'm saying, of the Father. So Satan is always going to be there. He's just going to operate on the minds of the nations. All right, and no more Israel. You see, that's why we're going to, because that it has to be that way so that they could continue to live, in the way the Lord intended them to live under Israel. They can't have the same glory as us, which our glory has to deal with immortality, which means no sin dwells in them no more. They're going to still be going off, which we're going to have to give them rods of correction, because Satan is still going to have to work on the minds of the people, those spirits. And this is the council in the heavens. This is continuing 1 Kings 22 and 20. YAHAWASHI said, who shall persuade Ahab that he may go up and fall at Ramoth Gilead? And one said on this matter, and another said on that matter. And there came forth a spirit, right? It started conversing. And then the spirit stepped forward and stood before the Lord, YAHAWASHI, and said, I will persuade him, said, I will do it. And YAHWAH said unto him, he replied, right, with meaning how. And he said, I will go forth, and I will be a lying spirit in the mouth of all his prophets. And he said, thou shalt persuade him and prevail also. Go forth and do so. Right? Because the scriptures talk about that the Father is not a man that he shall lie. But he allowed the spirit to go out and be a lying spirit in the mouth of his prophets. You see? Because the Father's in control of both sides. He said the deceived and the deceiver are his. Right? But the Lord is pure. All right? He's so pure that he has a balance. Okay? And that balance consists of the things happening on the left-hand side. You see? Purity, all right, and things like that come from being balanced. The Lord is balanced. All right? Truth. The Lord is truth. It says, no, now therefore, behold, the Lord, YAHWASHI, have put a lying spirit in the mouth of all these thy prophets. And the Lord have spoken evil concerning thee. Right? So it said the Lord have done these things because he's the one that gave the charge to the angel and gave him a grant to go and do so, man. All right? Satan is just not roaming. He's just not roaming around free willy-nilly. You know? He's not doing that. The Lord, as there is councils in the heaven, and Satan attends those councils. And then he go out and execute the judgment, all right, that the Lord has gave him to execute on the earth. This is Sirach 39. It says, let's start at 25. No, let's start at 24. As his ways are plain unto the holy. Right? This is showing you that the duality and that can be used to uplift a man, it can also destroy a man. This is Sirach 39 and 24. As his ways are plain unto the holy, so are they stumbling blocks unto the wicked. See? For the good are good things created from the beginning, so evil things for sinners. Right? These two are always going to exist in that yin and yang, that sun and the moon. You know, 2 and 2. It says, the principal things for the whole use of man's life are water, fire, iron, salt, flour, wheat, honey, milk, and the blood of the grape, and oil and clothing. All these things are for good to the godly, so that to the sinners they are turned into evil. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction they pour out their wrath. In the time of destruction they pour out their force, and appease the wrath of him that made them. And who made them? YAHAWASHI. He's the father of spirits, as we brought out. He's the one that controlled it. Right? They appease the wrath of him that made them. No one transgresses the laws of the Lord, man, or the ways of the Lord. See? Everyone, every entity, his incorruptible spirits and all things, his spirit runs everything. Everything belongs to him. You know, nothing rebels against the Father, man. All right? Nothing happens without him wanting it to happen. So that means nothing can actually, truly, sincerely, right, in a sense, rebel against him. All right? It's happening because he wanted to happen for the greater good of a greater cause, or greater explanation, or whatever the Lord is trying to convey. He allowed these things to happen to express himself. You know? This is Job 1:1. There was a man in the land of Uz whose name was Job, and that man was perfect and upright, and one that feared the Most High and shewed evil. He shunned it. Right? He was perfect and upright. You see? So it says, there were born unto him 7 sons and 3 daughters. His substance also. Let me jump down. This is 6. Now there was a day when the sons of the Most High came to present themselves before them Lord. See? A council in the heavens. And Satan came also among them. Right? He's also a son of the Most High. He created Yahawah, YAHAWASHI created, all right, Shaitan, right? In the so-called wicked angels that works on the minds of the wicked. You know? The Lord created Satan and all his minions. Right? The good guy and the bad guy. The Lord did that. Don't the director do that? Or the one who wrote the movie? Don't they create a good guy and a bad guy? And then that bad guy might be cruel in the movie, man. The director might have made him so vile. But the director still made him. Created him. He gave him a role. He gave him a task. And he did it. Executed it in the movie. You see? For the balance. It can't just be everything happening good in the movie. You know? It had to have some type of balance in the movie. You know what I'm saying? Even in cartoons and different shows, they show you that. It could be a cartoon about learning, Barney or something. But it's going to be something on the show that happens where the little kid was getting picked on. They use it for an example for somebody not to get picked on, what to do in that situation. Somebody loses shoe. Something was going to happen to bring balance on the show. And that's the point. This is the Lord's movie. And the Lord had to have it where we had to have a protagonist and an antagonist, if that's the right words. You know, a good guy and a bad guy to play these things out so the Lord can express his power, his essence, and what the roles of each character is going to be permanently. This is how the Lord did that. And this is what we see here. We're reading in Job that Satan also came amongst the sons of God, because he is a part of that. All right, this is continuing. The Lord said unto Satan, whence comest thou? Then Satan answered the Lord and said, from going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down it. And the Lord said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and upright man, one that feareth the Most High and escheweth evil? Right, the Lord had to bring Job to the attention of Satan. If Satan was all powerful like people make him and in control of shit, he would have already knew that Job existed. Like, in terms of, like, the Lord said, have you considered my servant Job? You see? And he showing you that, like, he don't rebel, because he would have tried to, because what he's saying right here, it says, then Satan answered, right? So this is his reply. The Lord and said, doeth Job fear the Most High for naught? Has not thou made an hedge about him and about his house and about... So Satan knows the state of Job in terms of how the Lord feel about him. You see? But if Satan was working on his own accord, and Satan is supposed to be the adversary, the one who, you know, do things contrary to the Lord and so forth and so forth. If he was on his own accord, he would have just tried to attack Job, regardless if the hedge was around him. Regardless if he knew all these things that he's saying. He would have just tried to attack him. You see? But he's not. He don't work on his own accord. That's why he didn't try to still attack Job and kill Job, even though he knew the Lord had a hedge around him. You see? Showing you that Satan was he was in order. That's why the Lord said, have you considered? You see? And this is his reply. Continue, has not thou an hedge about him and about his house and about all that he hath on every side? Thou hast blessed the work of his hands, and his substance is increased in the land. But put forth thy hand now and touch all that he hath, and will curse thee to thy face. So he knew that the power of the Lord surrounded him. Job, I'm talking about. So Satan, if he was this so-called rebellious against the Lord, and he fought against the Lord, and this happened and that happened, and he was rebellious, and then he would have just attacked Job anyways. He wouldn't have cared about the blessing on Job. You see? Shit, we had a blessing on us as a people, and we fell as a, you know what I'm saying? So that's a part. So he would have just attacked him, because he knew he was in a weak state. So, like, you got to make it make sense. It says, so the Lord is basically making a bet on Job. And the Lord said unto Satan, behold, all that he hath is in thy power. So this is the Lord granting access to Satan to act upon the ways of Job. And the Lord said unto Satan, behold, all that he has is in thy power. That's the access. Only, and he's commanding him, only upon himself put not forth thy hand. So Satan went forth from the presence of the Lord. See? And then he went forth from the presence of the Lord. The Lord gave the charge. He gave the command. Okay? He know how it's going to play out. And he got each entity working for him, so that things can properly execute themselves, all right, according to the will of the Lord, man. So there you go, man. There you have it. Everything works for the Lord, man. You know? You see? This is Sirach 43 and 29. The Lord is terrible and very great, and marvelous in his power. When you glorify the Lord, exalt him as much as ye can, for even yet while he far exceed. For even yet will he far exceed. And when ye exalt him, put forth all your strength, and be not weary, for ye can never go far enough. Who have seen him, that he might tell us, and who can magnify him as he is? See? There are yet here greater things than these be, for we have seen but a few of his works. For the Lord hath made all things, and to the godly hath he given wisdom. See, the Lord hath made all things, and to the godly he hath given wisdom. See that? The Lord made all things. One more, Sirach 42 and 23. All these things live and remain forever for all uses, and they are all obedient. Read that again, Sirach 42 and 23. All these things live and remain forever for all uses, and they are all obedient. See, they are all obedient. Everything that happens on the earth, spiritually wise and physically wise. All things are double one against another, and he hath made nothing imperfect. One thing established the good or another, and who should be filled with beholding his glory. So, Lord willing, this quick lesson was edifying. I'd like to give all honor and glory, infinite praise and worship to again YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, HAQADASH, and double honors to our apostle. It was a great millstone, rule well, and teach on sound doctrine, and strong shalom to the hopeful elect. Remember, Satan waits for the Most High. Lord willing, is edifying to a member of the Lord's elect. Till next time, shalom.